Okay, here Zoe, shh. Yeah, so let's jump right in. I am having boyfriend troubles. Well, ex-boyfriend troubles. We broke up last month. I broke up with him because we haven't been getting along well and agreeing. But we have tried to be friends recently, and I can't help feeling like it isn't over. We still have this chemistry, these feelings that we've both admitted. Should we give it another try or avoid facing the possible conflicts that broke us up? I still love him, but is this the best thing for me?
Well, everybody argues and fights. I mean, Nikki and I have argued and fought over things, but we're still together. We got married.
Barely. I hate you secretly. That's just, I'm in a forced marriage.
So if you both still like each other, then you can talk about those specific problems that you had before you decide to get back together. If that's what you guys both want to do, but you can work things out.
Yeah.
And just because you get in a fight, you don't have to call it quits.
So don't you think, though, that it depends on what kind of issues?
Oh, of course. I mean, it definitely depends what went down, but
like you were saying, how severe the
how
issues
severe
are.
it was, and if you really feel comfortable living with that, because it can, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird fine line of like, you have to ask your, like, working through issues is good. That's one thing, is people tend to call it quits sometimes in life faster than they should. Zoe, no biting. But at the same time, you want to ask yourself, if this issue never changed, could I live with that for the rest of my life as is? So, but at the same, it's weird. It's like a fine line. You also don't want to be someone that just quits really easily. Like, oh, there's problems, I can't be with him. It's like sometimes things need to be talked through. Things like, you know, maybe like things like abuse. Those are red flags that maybe you don't want to work through. You know what I mean? Like, those are probably, when you're dating young, it's like red flags that you may just want to walk the other way.
Verbal or physical.
Yeah, verbal or physical.
Most fights end well when one person admits they're wrong. Now, that's not very easy, but it always ends well when that happens. So,
and usually, also, it's the stronger and the more mature person that apologizes first, and it's okay. So, like, in our case, to be honest, Dan is way more strong and way more mature. 95% of the time in fights, he apologizes first. But what it does, and this is bad because you'd figure I'd learn and move on. Zoe, stop it. But what it does is it softens my heart, and it then makes me go to him and be like, I'm sorry, I love you, you know? So it's really complicated. So yeah, it's kind of a complicated issue. Like I said, I guess to sum it up, look at the issues, look at the severity of the issues, and then decide if it was like, okay, did we just give up too easily, or are these really red flags? Because you also don't want to be blinded by emotion and be like, oh, I still love him, and he's like a verbally abusive guy, and you're just like, oh, we love each other. Because sometimes something can feel like love, but love is not an emotion. Love is an action. Yeah. So you really need to sit there and look at the issues and decide if it's worth it, and if it's worth fighting through and being committed, or if it's something that you're like, no, I'm being blinded by the emotion of love. I really need to walk away.
Yeah, because you liked him in the first place, probably because you were attracted to him physically, so you could be super mad at him or whatever, but then look at him and go, oh, but he's still cute. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that is it. We will see you next time. Have a great rest of the day. Don't forget to check out Dan's channel. Follow Zoe on Twitter. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Send your messages to asknikkip@gmail.com. And yeah. Bye.
No biting.